Welcome to the Interviews Podcast.
Il cross, prima intenzione, Bobo anticipato, palla vagante, mette giù, recoba, il tiro,
Welcome, Interisti, to episode 192 of the Interviews Podcast. I am your host, Gianmarco Paterno, and obviously this is normally Alessandro's job, but he is unfortunately unable to be with us today. So I decided to bring up two heavy hitters. One of them I take seriously, the other one not so much.
I'm
Nima
literally wearing your shirt that you sent me.
Nima is wearing the podcast shirt. That is pretty cool. I guess I feel like a bit of a sellout not wearing it myself, but he's joining us. And then everyone's favorite content creator, Uncle Sharma, is joining, man. I had to have these two on because I needed someone to help me gang up on Nima
Yes.
and go after him. And this is the perfect duo. But yeah, thank you guys for hopping on today.
Oh, thank you for inviting me, and I feel like I need to get one of those jerseys as well, so I can link
I'll
it
have
as well.
Have to see if I can if I do have any. Actually, I think I do have a couple extras. So I'll check. But yeah, thank you again, Nima. How you doing? First time in I think this season. It feels like maybe.
No, or maybe.
No?
I'm not sure. I'm a bit
I think you
unsure.
had him on in the season opener for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's what.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
But yeah,
feels
we're
like
here to-
100 million years ago.
Yeah. And we're here to recap the Inter-Lecce match that ended 2-0 for our boys. Goals from my least favorite player, Henrik Mkhitaryan, in the 75th minute, and Manuel Akanji, his second one for the club in the 82nd minute. Kind of I don't know, not the most inspiring game I think I've seen by any means this season, but hey, either way, are able to, one, keep a clean sheet and come out with all 3 points, which I think is always a good thing for us. What did you think of the match, Sharma, to start? How did it go for you?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed the game. It wasn't aesthetically anything great to watch, but I actually did something that you suggest to do sometimes, which is I stayed off X, Twitter, Discord, etc. So I kind of watched it with just my own thoughts and feelings, and I thought we were doing quite well. We just kept going, we kept creating chances, and Lecce created nothing. And at the end of it, I think we could have won 3-4-0. So I was actually really happy. And, without Barella, without Lautaro, without Hakan, still no Dumfries. So many players missing, and we just this Kiev train just keeps winning, man.
Yeah, I think my problem was like the same thing. It was just the finishing, the lack of finishing. I thought same thing you said. Could have been 3-4. I would say maybe even 5 in this match. But yeah, it was just, it felt like one of those games, and I think maybe it's because I'm kind of a little suffering from PTSD from past years where we would have a million chances and be unable to finish and get that goal. But whatever it is, it's like you want to call it Kivu magic or something. We always seem to get the goal at some point, no matter who it is we're going up against, especially in the away matches, which you think would be a little bit harder for us. But yeah, coming away with all 3 points and like you said, missing those key players. And people being able to step up like Pio in the interim, Gianmarco having his typical, I got to have multiple assists kind of game. It's just it's good. It feels good because these are games that we normally would either end in a draw or somehow lose all 3 points and to get them. I think it's what's going to propel us to getting the trophy. What are your thoughts, Mr. Nima from 1997, with your dial-up internet over there?
No, look, it was one of those games going into it after the Buda Glimt thing where I really did not care about the result. Sorry, I didn't care about the performance. I only cared about the result, especially for the absences that you guys have just kind of alluded to, suspensions, injuries, but also because of the ridiculous cluster F that we've seen this past week, where after the ridiculousness of Bastoni, but also what happened in Buda Glimt, where that's that ridiculous injury, which was so avoidable and unnecessary. But so this was a really, really important page turner. Again, Inter's depth is is crucial across every part of the pitch. You have a defender in Akanji coming on. He wasn't 100%. Zielinski was the man of the match, even though he wasn't 100%. Mkhitaryan comes on. He's on his way out. He's on a decline. He scores. Dimarco continues to show that he is when Inter win the Scudetto, and it is when. It's not if. I think it is when. He is the MVP. There's no discussion about it. He is the MVP. A lot of people don't kind of get what that is because that comes from America, doesn't it? And it's not who is the best player in the league. It's who's the most valuable player. And there is no one more valuable to this Scudetto than Federico Di Marco. 15 assists, 6 goals, just unbelievably important for Inter in the final third at set pieces. It's just he is the MVP. There's no discussion that the Serie A MVP is the most valuable player to this Scudetto run is Federico Di Marco. It's that simple. And so when you have him on the pitch and he continues to deliver points as he does, and you know, these Lecce games after these situations when you're in February, this is when, this is how you build a title winning run. And that's something Inter were unable to do all of last season. They couldn't get these wins over the line, and that's why they never were able to extend any leads. Well, we're recording this before, just as Milan's game has started. It's 10 points. And a 10-point lead, even if Milan win, it's 7 points. That's important. This is how you end up winning titles. This is how you end up winning trophies, league titles. And, and that's just, Conte and Allegri are masters of that. And I think what Kivu's done this season, which is really impressive, is exactly that he's handled these situations when these losses come after Udinese, after Juve, after Liverpool, after Arsenal, after Atletico Madrid, after all of these heavy losses, he Milan, Napoli, it's like he's able to just, okay, that was then, now the next game, it's still 3 points, and they go on a winning streak, which is really impressive. That you don't draw, you don't let that hangover go, kind of come with you into the next game. And I think that's what he's done very, very well. And of course, the depth, as I said, Inter have the best depth in the Serie. It's no discussion.
Kind of staying on the topic of Federico Di Marco, after the Inter match on Paramount Plus, our favorite Italian pundits, the best trio in world football, in Matteo Bonetti, Mike Grella, and Marco Messina, were talking about the Italian national team and saying that the only world-class players are Donnarumma and Bastoni.
Well, were they talking about form, or were they talking of overall quality? Because that matters. Like, to be fair to them, that matters, because
you think, but you don't consider Di Marco a world-class player?
No, I'm talking about on form for sure.
They were.
There's no doubt.
All right, no, they weren't talking about form. They were just talking about overall quality.
Okay.
As a wing back, he definitely is. If they're talking about him as a left back, then yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't consider him. Yeah, as a left back, I wouldn't put him in those conversations. But I think as a wing back, he is a world class wing back.
Yeah. And he's having a world class season for sure.
For this season, for sure. And I think,
I'm sorry, but his left foot is as Akanji said. He's the top 3 of players I've ever played with, and he's played with quite a few good players. His left foot, the delivery, the shoot, the shots, the crosses. There isn't anyone who's better. Seriously, who has a better left foot than he does right now in world football in terms of wide players, wing backs, wingers, when it comes to crossing, when it comes to set pieces? Who?
Yeah, only Grimaldo, I think, can chat to him. That's it.
No one.
Yeah.
And it's been consistent this entire season. It's been consistent since he rejoined Inter and started banging in those crosses and shots and free kicks and whatever. It's there's no discussion. He has weaknesses defensively, as we saw in this game as well. He stands off players too much. He gets beaten for pace. He is not a very pacey player, stamina, all that. But his specific skill, that left foot, there is no one. I don't think there's anyone in the world who's better at it. I'm sorry, but there isn't. The consistency with which he delivers assists and crosses and goals season after season.
And see, for me, when you say that, that qualifies him as a world-class player. If that's
I mean, it's your definition at the end of the day, I suppose. But if we're talking on form, there's no doubt then you can't say that Barella and Bastoni are world-class players because on form
Well,
they've not
they
had it.
didn't say Barella. They did, take some shots at Barella, which I mean, I think he deserves. He's not really been his best. Um, Definitely this year. I'd say maybe the last year and a half potentially. Like probably not. I still think he does put in great performances from time to time, not at the level that he did before, like with the consistency. But I don't know. I guess,
I think until they show it for Italy, they're never gonna get that recognition, and it's not even
and
their
that's
fault. But
yeah. Like I think it's really just been mostly managers in the system that they try to implement with these guys, and not saying that you have to do only what Inter do with the national team, but like if Bastoni doesn't do well in a back four, why do you consistently do that? If you have wing backs like this is now the perfect time. We could have Palestra on the right, Di Marco on the left.
mhm.
You
Someone's
should go
banging
to.
on my door. I'll be back in a minute. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
That's it.
Um,
That's Kivu asking for his apology.
yeah, that's he's showing up finally. He's collecting. But yeah, like I think like it would make sense to go back to a back three with the players that we have and the form that we're in. And I don't know who I would want to have in the back line besides Calafiori, and maybe you move Bastoni to the middle. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
that's the issue. I think they have to sacrifice one of Bastoni or Calafiori.
and I think on current form defensively, I probably would sacrifice Bastoni right now.
Mm. But it's like, but Calafiori is like, he loves to roam. Like he's almost wants a free role, like what he did for
Yeah, he doesn't
Arsenal.
really want to stay. Yeah. I mean, it's tough, right? Like, I don't think that there's. I mean, I think now it's too late to be testing these things out, especially with the
Yeah.
playoffs. So you
And I
can't
don't
do
trust
it. But
Gattuso to be coming up with like something,
yeah,
revolutionary.
he would not be the guy that I would want to be at the helm doing that. But it will be interesting to see how if he's able to get Palestra into this team at some point or somehow. I feel like in current form he has to, but
Yeah,
that's
I
besides
think
the.
that's the thing. Like on that right side, like now with Di Lorenzo, at least he's out with an injury. There's no excuse to bring in the younger guys now, like
Mhm.
Palestra. Call up Coyote to get his
Yeah,
allegiance confirmed and everything. So yeah, surely no more excuses.
yeah, I would have to agree there for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, I was just curious what your guys' thoughts would be on how, or what your thoughts were on if Di Marco would qualify as a world class player, which I think he does. So yeah, there he
Sorry.
is. Did you apologize to Kivu? Is that
No, apologize for what? It was a prediction that I got wrong, but I
You
think
told him he wasn't going to eat panettone.
well, I said he was going to eat a panettone, but he wasn't going to be working at Inter when he was eating panettone. That was a problem. He's going to eat unemployment at panettone. But no, listen, no, look, Kivu has done well, but the problem that I was raising, the overall problem, it wasn't against Kivu. It was against Marotta. I don't think that Inter should be appointing inexperienced coaches, not where they are. And my criticism wasn't against him. If you remember, I said he's being set up to fail, and I don't like that when Italian clubs do that. Like they hide behind a legend or someone who has a great history with the club. Milan under Berlusconi towards the end of the time and time again with Seedorf, Inzaghi, and so on. I don't think that's a nice thing. But you got to hand it to him. He was ready for this to handle it from a psychological point of view. Tactically, I think Inter are a little bit too naive at times. I think they're very easily carved open in midfield, especially. I think when you see that time and time again against Sassuolo, Torino, Arsenal, Liverpool. Like, it doesn't matter. Inter are a little bit too easily carved open, and that's why I think they won't go too far in the Champions League. I think quarterfinal is what we can kind of hope for, because if they avoid City, they'll play Sporting. If they beat Buda, and then it's either Bayern Munich and Arsenal, and you don't want to play those teams if your midfield gets you carved open that easily. But regardless, look, if he's here, you've appointed him, then you have to allow him to make mistakes. The good thing about Kivu this season is that he doesn't make the same mistake twice, and that's good. He learns on the job, but you have to have that patience. So another example of inexperience is, look, he knows, he has all the test results of every single player at Inter. Like when you're going to north of the Arctic Circle and you're playing a team on a plastic pitch that literally looks like literally was stapled together by the groundsmen because it was so cold and they were dragging the snow off. You don't start a player like Lautaro or Luis Enrique, or do you know what I mean? You play the players who are more with who have the physicality to handle that, and also you don't need to press that high up against Bodo Glimt. It's okay for you to just kill off a game in these extreme conditions, draw it, and then win. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of experience, that kind of cynicism, as they say in Italy, that comes with experience, he lacks, and that's fine. But that's the kind of stuff I was alluding to when I was like, I'm skeptical of this. But there's no doubt that when it comes to his communication, when it comes to his management of a group and getting them united, he's extremely good at it. And you can tell that because the younger players especially absolutely love him. And that's very important because it's a modern, this is the age we live in, Inter have to rejuvenate. So, it's good. But lest we forget how he was appointed, Inter were chasing Fabregas for a couple of weeks after Inzaghi left. And Kivu was the fallback option. I mean, so, we have to be honest about that. And so Marotta did not handle that. So it wasn't really criticism of Kivu. It was more criticism of Marotta. And to be fair, I don't think it's taken a while for him to adapt to being the president of Inter. Let's put it that way, to put it diplomatically. He's not hit the ground running. And it's, again, that's also, I guess, part and parcel of being the difference between being the CEO or director of football and being the president. With the president, you're no longer just a director or a CEO. You got to have the bird's eye view in a much different way. And I suppose that's taken him a little while to get acquainted to and adjusted to. And you got to have patience for that, I suppose. But the criticism still stands. I still think that the way that everything was handled last season was poor from everybody, from Inzaghi to Marotta. It was very poorly handled. His exit was very poorly handled. The way that they sacrificed the Champions League final, essentially both of them, is unacceptable. I mean, you go around for 6 months saying that the contract extension is just a formality. Then, well, if it's just a formality, then extend it. Don't lie about it. It's exactly like he did with Skriniar. I mean, when he F's up royally. And it's a bit annoying. But look, it is what it is. Inter have landed on their feet. They're in the semi-final of the Coppa Italia. They're going to win the 21st Scudetto, which is incredibly important. And hopefully they go past the Bodo Glimt, which I hope, without going to 120 minutes and without going to losing any more players to injury.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of good points there. I would agree that, I said the same thing, that if Kivu does fail at Inter, I wouldn't blame him one bit.
No.
I was going to blame, the management. I thought, even still, like there's some question marks with the signings, especially like Luis Enrique and Andy Diouf. Like you see moments that are good with both of them, right? And I would say more so Diouf lately than Luis Enrique. Like I think a lot of us as fans get frustrated with his constant need to do what Dumfries was doing when he was kind of first here. Dribble, like just straight, turn around, pass back. Same thing. I like control, copy, paste, do it again. Like it is a little tiresome at times. You would like him to be a little bit more direct and a little bit more willing to take his man. And we've seen he does have dribbling capabilities. It's not like he's, walking around with Timberlands like Dumfries is. So I think that you kind of didn't set him up for the most success. I know, you have more depth in the forward group, but you didn't really add anything to the midfield depth except for Sucic. And even still, he's had an up and down season for the most part. Even though I was high on him arriving, and I still am high on him as a player, and I think that he can develop and become like a new age Kovacic in a lot of ways. He still needs to work on the consistency, and I think we've seen a little bit more of the physicality side of him lately. Maybe the last 2 or 3 games where he's been a bit more willing to go into challenges and kind of step in and try to get standing tackles, and I've liked that, but it still needs to improve. And I don't know. What do you think, Sharma, about some of these guys that were brought in for Kiwi's first season?
Yeah, like you said, none of them are have come in and be, Akanji's been the one starter straight away, and then Luis Enrique is only starting because of the Dumfries injury situation. But Sucic, I really don't understand a lot of the criticism I see. Like, I want him to just continue playing 4 or 5 games in a row, which is something, I wanted Zielinski to do last season as well.
Hmm.
Obviously, with the injuries, sometimes it didn't help. But I think that's the only way you can get someone to improve, to learn the league, to learn Serie A, to learn the tactical side of things is, doing that, losing some duels, losing some heavy balls, and that's how he would learn. And I'm completely happy with the Suchic's development this season. Like, that's the kind of type of development. Even though Frattesi had a good first season in terms of goal scoring, I didn't see that any type of that development from Frattesi in the first
Yeah.
season. So I'm
Oh my
happy with
god.
how Sucic is looking. Diouf is a signing that I just was a little bit confused about because yes,
Same.
I think everyone was
yeah,
panicked by. But
and it
I have
ended
to
up being a
say,
wing back, but he's actually kind of useful as an impact player. So fair play to Kivu on that, pivoting and making him
Hmm.
useful as a wing back. But yeah, sorry, continue, Nima.
no, I agree with you. I'm sorry to interrupt. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I think that's a good point. When it comes to Sucic, he's 21 years old. Okay, he came from the Croatian league. This is one of, like, everyone you speak to in the Balkans who follow Balkan football say this is probably the biggest talent to come out in a generation from all of the Balkans. And yet, so you have to be patient with him, and you have to give him time to adapt. And you have to let him fail to learn from that,
Yeah.
because the talent is there. And if you don't see it, then I'm sorry, you don't understand football. It doesn't mean that he's going to succeed or he's going to,
Yeah.
no. But the talent, the raw talent is there. He's like a mixture of Kovacic and Brozovic, because he can run for
Hmm.
days.
Hmm.
He has the stamina of he's got steel lungs. And thankfully he's not a smoker like the other one was. This guy is much more
Well,
clean
we don't
cut.
know. He
Well,
he
that was
might
his
be hiding.
secret. That was
Yeah.
Brozovic's
No,
secret.
this guy is more straight edge than Brozovic. I mean, you can tell every time he scores, he literally performs like, I don't know. I was like, are you done praying yet? Can we start playing again? Like, I mean, it's just, do you know what I mean? Like, do you mind? Like, no, but like, all jokes aside, like, he's very straight edge. He's very, he's very focused on his career. He's got a good head on his shoulder. He's very mature. He wants to improve. He knows that he just needs to work hard. And I think he's been managed really well at Inter as well. And I have no problem with letting him have these games like against Lecce, where he drops the ball and he misplaces passes. And because Italy is a very tactical league, and teams know how to, they sniff out your weaknesses very quickly, and they put you, that's good. That's going to make him a better player. It's simple as that. So I have no problem with letting him have bad games. I want him. It's the same thing with Luis Enrique, which I think has been. I'm actually, he's playing better than I expected. Because
I would agree. Yeah.
lest we forget, Zalewski, Luis Enrique, Sucic, Boni. These are all they were going to come in with Inzaghi. Like, we already knew they were all going to come in, right? But when they didn't get Lookman and they had to dump the 3-4-2-1, which was the plan, then they brought in Diouf because they needed another midfielder, because they wanted to continue with the 3-5-2. But Diouf as a midfielder, I have question marks. So what Kiel really did well was kind of find a use for him as a wide player, and he's been actually pretty serviceable. But Luis Enrique, I got to say, he's, this is his, just like Sucic, to tie it together. This is their first kind of learn and watch year. It's next season where I want to see things from them, if you know what I mean. This season, I just want them to learn. Luis Enrique is not making many mistakes. He's making a couple, but he's not making these, like, eye glaring, neither of them are. They're frustrating at times to watch, because you can see the talent and technical ability and high IQ, especially with Sucic. But again, young players, new league, give him a chance. And with Sucic, he's literally coming from the Croatian league to the Serie A, to a team that was in the Champions League final last summer. I mean, come on, like, people need to calm down a little bit.
I mean, I'm seeing people, like, I've had people, in my mentions talking about, Mkhitaryan does more than him, which I'm like, listen, I know I bash on Mkhitaryan, and I know I'm not a fan, and I know, like, the hate comes on strong for him. But I don't know how you could watch the games and tell me that Mkhitaryan is doing more than Pedar Sucic. Like
Well,
I
it
just
depends on what they mean more. More what? More
I
goals?
think just
Yeah.
more running,
But
more running maybe. Like that's the only
not
thing I could
that's
really
just not true. Like,
like.
the numbers don't lie. Sucic, every time he plays for Inter, is amongst the top players in terms of distance and space covered. Mkhitaryan runs a hell of a lot, but he doesn't run as much as Sucic. What he does, because he's almost 40 years old, he has more experience and he has a naturally high IQ, and so he knows where to run and when to run. Like, because he reads the game better right now, because he has 16 years more experience. Like,
He just doesn't know where to pass.
well,
That's my big problem. But
no, he does, but it's like it's different, Johnny. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Sucic is 21. The other one is what, 36? There's
37.
30. I mean,
But
16.
yesterday's game was like the perfect example, I think. Where he actually had a stinker coming on Mkhitaryan, but he masked it with the goal that he scored, because he came on and he gave the ball away like 3 or 4 times as soon
Yeah.
as he came on.
4 times.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have that in his body anymore. Like, his body can't keep up in this tempo, especially the tempo that Kiva wants to play. But he is experienced, so he can read and he knows what's going to happen, and so therefore he scores more. But again, I would personally
he barely scores.
Well, yeah, no.
The
But
other goal he
my
scored was
point
that
is
tap in he
basically,
stole from.
I wouldn't have taken.
Yeah,
my
that
point
pissed
is,
me off. That
No.
didn't he steal it from Diouf?
Yeah, no, Bisek, I think it was.
Bisek, yeah, Bisek with there. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
My point is simply that I would rather, like, I think it's good to have Mkhitaryan so Sucic can learn from him, because he has unbelievable experience, and he has very high football IQ, and I think when you play with someone like of that experience, with that natural football, you learn a lot. So I have no problem with alternating. Personally, I would have kept Sucic on yesterday. That's just me. I would not have taken him off. I would have
taken Fratesi off personally.
Yeah, I would have taken Fratesi off. I thought he offered absolutely nothing yesterday, and it was a little bit like Thuram. Like, that was a test again for them. And I mean, what are we doing?
I thought he was all right yesterday for I mean, the bar is low, but I thought that was his best game this season. The bar is very low, though.
Well, yeah.
How do you play 90 minutes and you only have 25 passes?
Yeah. Mkhitaryan came on and had
35.
35, yeah, and then Fratesi had 25 in the whole 90.
Like, that doesn't. I don't understand. Like, how do you see so little of the ball? And then people act like, he did something. Like,
can I ask you, are we upset about that? Because I'm thrilled that he doesn't pass the ball as much, because whenever he passes the ball, I want to gouge my eyes out.
For sure. Like, he had one instance where I think he had Diouf making a run on the right, and he passed the ball directly to Gabriel on Lecce, and I'm like, how is that possible? How is
it
that
literally is. How
literally,
is that possible?
like, you have a guy 5 yards away from him running in, and you put it straight to the like, it just made no sense to me. But
that's how it feels watching him, to be honest, Johnny. Like, with Fratesi, I've given up. But I think that there's a natural solution to that, and I think the fact that we're going to a 3-4-2-1, I think that's crystal clear. We're going to a 3-4-2-1. That means that Mkhitaryan leaving, if Fratesi probably going to be sold, Çalhanoğlu as well. So you got Sucic, and what's his name? You got Zielinski, Sucic, Barella.
And then you got Stankovic supposedly coming back.
Exactly. And that was the point I was going to make. I think that's where you're going to be, because I think when you got 2 holding midfielders, Sucic and Barella are probably going to be the starters. Then you're going to have Stankovic, who's kind of eased in the same way Boni and Pio have been eased in. And then you've got Zielinski, who's been excellent this season. So they're going to need to rotate because of the sheer number of games. So I think that, and Diouf as well, who can play as both wide and in the middle. Probably Dumfries is going to leave in the summer as well, if someone from the Premier League buys him. So, there's going to be quite a bit of changes, and above all, goalkeeper and defenders. So there's going to be quite a few changes this summer. And I think that in and of itself, and I think tactically as well. So I'm not too worried about that. I personally think Sucic and Barella in a double pivot is, I like that. That to me, on paper, that is mouthwatering. Honestly, to me, that is mouthwatering on paper.
Uncle Sharma, what do you think?
I think they're going to renew Mkhitaryan. Me and Alessandro were actually going to play a prank on you. I was going to make like a graphic of like Sky Sport Italia with the confirmed.
Oh
Mkhitaryan,
no.
nuovo contratto, sign.
That would send me. That would definitely, yeah, I think I would have a nervous breakdown if I saw
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that would, I mean, listen, that would be a good prank. Definitely the way to go about it, but
Yeah. But if
I think
Nima's right, if they do want to move to 3-4-2-1, then that would be, yeah, then probably that doesn't happen. But if they're going to stick with the 3-5-2, I probably see, because this, as Nima said, there's a lot to do in the summer, and in terms of cost minimization, just renewing one of these guys for another year is the cheapest thing to do. So I can imagine at least like one of De Vrij Mkhitaryan. I feel like it's one of those two that might get the renewal. Or you guys even said Darmian, because he looked good against Bodo. But I feel like at least one of those guys are gonna get a renewal. I wouldn't be surprised. And I'm trying to just prepare Interisti like mentally for that news.
well, I appreciate the preparation. I'm sure it's going to be the one that I least want of the three.
Zoma.
Oh gosh.
No. That's not gonna, like, so if Sommer stays, he'll be a backup goalkeeper. Like, there's no doubt about that. Inter are looking for a starting goalkeeper. I mean, it's obvious they are. I'm not too excited about Vicario, because I wonder how damaged he is from Spurs.
Your boy Jocko ruined him.
I think there's just certain goalkeepers that are just not big club material. Like even when he was in Empoli, Vicario, I don't think he ever gave those big team goalkeeper vibes. And I think he's just
yeah, he's definitely not Inter quality in my opinion. I don't.
I've also not been convinced by Caprile, by the way. I've been watching more and more of him this season.
Yeah, no errors in his game. But if I had to choose between the two in terms of affordable, I would still choose Caprile over Vicario. I mean, yeah.
I choose neither, to be honest.
Well, no, in my perfect world, it'd be Carnesecchi. Like, it wouldn't be even a question.
Yeah,
like,
same. But the problem is that he's not that good with the ball at his feet, and that's what they're looking for. And he wants to play with
that has to stop, in my opinion. I need you to just keep the ball out of the net. I don't care.
Everyone thinks that. I mean, this bullshit about Donnarumma. Like, have you seen? There is no one who can talk to him when it comes to goalkeeping. There is no one who comes near Donnarumma. He's the best goalkeeper in the world. But as Carlo calls them, these feet wankers keep talking about this nonsense. He's not good with the ball, but he's not supposed to be. He's a goalkeeper.
He's a goalkeeper. Like, he's gonna win City the title just because of the saves he's making.
Freaking treble last year. Like, they would not even have been in the Champions League final had it not been for his saves. He's unbelievable. That he is by far the best goalkeeper in the world. It's not even like the saves he makes week after week, and the giant wingspan, and like
he's so mad. And then on penalties, like it literally is 50-50 with him and net. Like, you don't know.
No.
If you're the shooter, you're worried because of his size. He's massive. He takes up space. He reads the shots like so well. Like, I mean,
yeah. But I think the problem is Atalanta, not really the ball playing. They're not going to sell Palestra and Carnesecchi. I mean, getting one of those out will be already a mission.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I don't want to deal with them anymore, to be honest. I'm not fed up.
No, I mean, to be fair, yeah. Like, yeah. But anyway, so, yeah, I don't even know what else. I mean, this match, I don't even know what else to really talk about with this particular matchup, to be honest. I feel like we kind of covered the key players and the moments.
I thought Bisek had a fantastic game.
Yeah, he was good.
He needed a shout, because we often do criticize him for his bozo moments that he can have, but I thought yesterday he was, if it wasn't for Dimarco, I think it was between him and Zielinski as the other man on the match performance.
I think that's fair. Just one thing I wanted to say is just this, like, Interisti should really start to appreciate and understand what a historic moment and historic player they have in Lautaro Martinez. Like, it's just, when he's not on the pitch, he is so sorely missed. Yesterday, he would have scored 1 or 2 goals. There's no doubt about that. Like, this is a player who, I mean, my criticism of him in the sense has been, and when I say criticism, it's not like, I mean, critically and analyzing him, is his finishing, and it's not always been the best. We all know that.
I've said that multiple times.
Yeah,
and
we all see that, right?
Yeah.
But my God in heaven, what a world class! You want to do world class? That's world class.
He is a world class forward and everything else except finishing. That's the only thing that he's not world class at.
And I
which
mean,
I
the
would want from a
leader
striker.
he
That's
is,
all.
the leader he is, how important he is for this Inter, the important goal. People want to call him Salernitana man and all that nonsense on Twitter, but it's like, well, actually, go and check his big game record. Like it's out there with the best. And if
Mm.
you, but the fact is that he also now scores. It is. Go and check it.
No,
Check
just
Yeah,
Barcelona. Check Liverpool. Check Real Madrid.
historically, okay, yeah. No, don't worry. Continue the
This
point.
season
Sorry.
it's not been good, but that's the
Yeah.
point I'm making, is that when, for me, a world-class player is also someone whose lowest level is really high. And his lowest level this season has been very high. He's having a bad season, top of the 14 goals in the Serie A, 18 overall. That's a bad season for Lautaro. And that to me is the hallmark of a world-class player, that even when they're struggling and even when they're physically not there and they're not at their peak, he still delivers, and he is so important for Inter. He is so. I really like. Honestly, I don't think people understand what a hole he's going to leave when he retires, and we're kind of edging towards the last third of his career at Inter, aren't we? I mean, and I think it's just like, look at the consistency. He's always on 20 goals a season, like minimum 20 goals. I think one season since the first he came here was on 19. Since then it's been 20, 20, 20 plus, 20 plus, 20 plus. And it's like, it's just, really enjoy him. Really enjoy him, because when he's gone, you're going to miss him so much. Like,
Yeah, I mean the only my only knock on him like is the same thing that you said. I think he would have 10 more goals this season alone if he could just finish. Like, and I was talking about Alessandro. The thing that drives me crazy with him is like when he has time and space to decide to
overthinks.
take, he overthinks it.
Mm.
When he shoots it first time, or if it's off a volley or something, it's it makes no sense. The harder the chance, the more likely he is to score, and it's just one of the things that drives me crazy about him, because everything else in his game, the pressing, the work rate, the passing, the touch, like it's all world class. And then you get to the finishing and you're like, this is where the striker's supposed to be, and he just
Yeah,
misses
he is.
opportunities.
He's just like and also like they've found their captain. Like, I was somewhat like, is he a captain? Because I thought someone like Bastoni should be, but no, actually, I think they got it spot on. I think it was the right decision. It wasn't one of those, give him the captain armband to stay. No, they made the right decision. They built
Hmm.
around a character. He's not, he barely says outlandish things. He's not a very marketable player. He's not in the sense that he doesn't like to talk a lot. He doesn't do a lot of big things. And he's very much, keep his head down, family man. He's a guy in Zanetti's mold. And you can tell that it's very important for him to carry the legacy of Javier Zanetti and Argentinian and all that. And no, I'm really, really happy to see that he's the captain. I'm really happy to see him here, and I hope he stays at Inter for as long as he wants to, and his career, and ends his career at Inter, because he's so useful. Even though he's not a natural goal scorer, he's not a natural number 9. When you have players like Boni, when you have players like Pio Esposito, when you have even Thuram when he's on form next to him, he is so useful, and he's such a leader. And you can tell the others respect and love him, and that's important.
Yeah, no, it's 100% agree with everything you just said, and it was something I wasn't sure of when we did decide to give him the armband. I didn't know,
Mm.
like, I think at the time, and I may be misremembering this, but I think at that time I thought um, Brozovic would have been named the captain. I think that's who I was thinking would have gotten it, just for his longevity there, and like the time spent and stuff. That's the only thing that I thought. Like, I didn't know if they would give it to Lautaro. I wasn't upset with the choice by any means, but I just thought, oh, Brozovic has kind of been the longest tenured guy. Maybe they'll go with seniority. But I mean, they obviously made the right choice. So
Yeah, there's no discussion. He's been the way that he's led this Inter, and sometimes he makes mistakes. I mean, it was unnecessary of him to fry Çalhanoğlu the way he did in public, but
I loved it.
you're gonna learn from that. But then, of course, he was backed by Marotta immediately, if you remember, and there's a reason for that. And then obviously they resolved it, and that's in large parts thanks to Kivo as well, who's very good at kind of building a unit. But no, I'm very happy. I actually have to say that this season, For Lautaro, I'm giving him a pass. I'm really looking forward to next season with Lautaro, because I think a Lautaro that has been able to just kind of play off this season and rehabilitate himself. Next season, I think you're going to see a Lautaro that is even more fierce.
Well,
If he's
it
injury
depends on the
free,
World Cup. Depends if he has another one of those World Cups. If he has a good World Cup, I think we're going to see a better Lautaro.
No, I think regardless of what happens at the World Cup, to be honest, because I think it doesn't really matter. I think his body was so beaten up last year. I mean, lest we forget how he managed to play against Barcelona. Like him and Thuram and Dumfries, but him especially, he was like on his last, like he risked his career by playing that. Like, I mean, do you know what I mean? It's just and I'm afraid that he's going to do something crazy like that against Milan as well, because I think that'll.
Well, that's what I mean. Is it like, how does he go into that World Cup? Is he going to force himself through it again and go into that World Cup injured again and then suffer throughout the whole season again? That's what I mean. Like,
yeah, no, that's
he
fair.
doesn't.
That's
hopefully
fair.
he rests.
I hope he's able to rest. Him and Barella need like a long vacation. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just want to.
Barella needs like 6 months off, to be honest. Like, he needs like the biggest reset ever.
You put him on gardening leave.
Yeah. Give him 6 weeks where he goes to like a spa, where he listens to like
just
birds
gets pampered
chirp,
the whole
and is massaged every day. Do you know what I mean? Like this kind of, where he's like giving these, like, the cucumbers and the face mask. And, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
he needs all the attention, and like I'm kind of tired of the constant like anti-Barella agenda that I see out there too. It's just I don't get the hate for him. Like, yes, is he not playing as well as he has in years past? I won't disagree with that by any means. Like, and it can be a little frustrating at times. But then, the game against Bodo, people were saying like he was the black hole in the midfield. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it made no sense. I really think sometimes, and I know you said it earlier, Sharma, like it is better to stay off social media. Like, and I wish I would even take my own advice sometimes, because I'll go to see. And I'm like, am I watching a completely different game? Like, am I just totally blind to certain things that I'm not seeing the same things that apparently a large group of Interisti are seeing? That I'm like, all right, like I just don't know if I'm going crazy or not. And then I also see other stuff that I think are just industry plants of Interisti accounts, because they spawned out of nowhere and they're just tweeting stuff that I'm like, it's nonsense. But anyway.
He was out of position for 2 of the goals. Like for the third one, he's the one that let the ball straight through his legs.
But I thought going forward, he was the best
one. On the ball, he was fine, but
on the ball, he was
shielding
fantastic.
the front of the defense. He was pretty much missing against Bodo.
That's fair. Okay, yeah, on the defensive side, yeah, like.
But yeah,
I know one of the goals. Yeah, was definitely. I don't know. I'm trying to remember now. Which would you say in the third one?
The first one and the third one. So the first one, he wasn't even in the picture when they were going straight to the middle.
The first one was yep.
And then the third one, the ball straight through the middle. It went to Barella, but it went through him. Like it nutmegged him or went underneath his foot as
because
it went.
Again, like people think it's an excuse, but it isn't. Like, honestly, next February, invite you both to come to Stockholm when it's a meter of snow, when it's -5 to 10 degrees, and I'll take you to that exact same quality pitch, because it's a very old plastic pitch. They have to change it. They're not allowed to use it anymore because it's old. And then when you stand there and you try to pass a ball and wonder, why am I like, it's a different sport. It's a completely different sport. It's not the same. And the fact that it happened in the Champions League knockout game is not Bodo Glimt's fault. It's UEFA's fault. They should not have allowed that game to be played under those conditions. So honestly, it's not the same thing. Like, I'm telling you,
I tried sharing it too, like the last episode, because I mean, Mila Alessandro from the Northeast. I've played in Colorado where it was 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which is -12 degrees Celsius on a turf field. And like your feet feel heavy, your joints, your muscles, everything feels heavy. You're slow to move. Like your brain's telling you to react and do stuff, but like you're just not able to.
It's just not possible
to make up for that.
The balance is screwed up as well, because the pitch is so weird and it just feels synthetic, and the way the ball bounces, like it's a different sport. That's all I'm going to say.
No,
it's a different sport.
100% agree. Like I know
so
that
if you've been in that kind of situation, you know what I mean. Like it's just
like. and I understand they're all professionals and like their level of play and is obviously greater and they should be able to adjust and stuff, but like it's still not easy when you're in that cold. Like it really isn't. And um I know when I've torn my knee
Yeah,
ligament twice. Like uh, I when I'm on turf, I'm thinking about it. I may
of
not be
course.
like trying to think, but I am thinking about
Of
it. And I'm
course you are.
like, I'm not going to cut here. I'm gonna slow down like more. Like I may not go in for a challenge. Like it's in the back of my mind that I mean, thankfully none of these guys on our team that I can remember have had any like torn ligaments like that. But I'm
No.
sure there had to be a bit of a fear going into that match. So I think that could have been a little bit that played into that performance.
Mm. Nah, the performance is I'm more pissed off with the attitude and also because of the fact that Inter and Juve spent a week, spent 3 days tearing each other apart over dumb, stupid shit, and none of them focused on the actual game at hand and the mentality of it. And I owe you an apology. You owe me an apology. And what is it? When did everyone become a fucking apology Karen?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? I owe you. You owe me an apology. What? When did that happen? Was I asleep for a decade and all of a sudden this is you owe me an apology. I owe you an apology. He owes her what? For what? For what? This apology Karen bullshit needs to stop. Like, it just pisses me off. Like, stop it. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, when did that happen in Italian football? That all of a sudden everyone is demanding each other. You need to apologize for what?
And in Italy, like I don't get like this whole thing. Like literally, we watch people dive and celebrate red cards every single game in Italy.
Nah,
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. It's
it was
ridiculous.
comical. Like, I
It's
mean, look,
ridiculous.
I said I wasn't the biggest fan of Bastoni's celebration myself,
Yeah.
but
Same.
like,
It was
did I think
unnecessary.
yeah, totally unnecessary. But did I think like he had to go do all that before a Champions League match and apologize and all? Like, I thought that was kind of ridiculous.
The entire
Listen,
situation was
I
bizarre.
respect him for doing that. Like, that you know, to admit you were wrong and kind of. I don't think
No,
he
he
just did it
acted
to.
like a champion in that
Yeah,
situation, Johnny. But for the love of humanity, the way that the discourse was going, and it'll be difficult to get him into the national team, and should he be in the national team, and this, that, and the
insanity,
other.
insanity.
Excuse me, can we please? You're the country that invented football in football. Do you mind the chill with the pearl clutching for 5 minutes here? Like, it's just. Have you heard of Giorgio Chiellini? Do you know who he is? Have you heard of Alessandro Del Piero? Do you know who Francesco Totti is? All of you, uh, please,
And then
please.
those are not Totti, but the other two were speaking up about this, and I'm like, you're the last two people that should be
Yeah.
pointing fingers. Like,
No, I get that Chiellini needs to address it because he's working for Juve. I get that, and I get that Del Piero wants to talk about it. But for me, the absurd pearl clutching, as if this was like as if he called him the N-word or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was no balance to any of this. It was completely over the top. And Spalletti coming out and saying, Kivu should apologize. And I think Kivu handled it brilliantly. He's like, yeah, okay. I mean, if Kalulu took it, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like this. But if he was offended, I'm sorry. Like, that's the way to handle it. Now, regardless, this nonsense, focusing on nonsense was just, that's not what you should be doing when you're playing every 3 days. And they both, good. They got burned. Both of them got burned for this stupid shit. Because it's childish. It really is childish.
But Bastoni responded well yesterday with all the boos in the stadium. He did well.
which I that cracked me up too. It's like, oh, I didn't know Lecce were just such diehard Juve supporters. Like, my bad. I must have missed.
There's a stereotype of Juve being. I don't want to. If you know the stereotype, it's Juventini. Juve's biggest fan base is the further south in Italy you go, and I mean that was as far as stereotypes go.
Yeah. I did have a couple of things I did want to go over with the match, like some questions to kind of get your opinions on a couple things, especially like really just the positions of need. Like, and I wanted to ask who you would want at these positions, but then also who do you think is actually the realistic one? All right, so it's just 3 positions. We'll start with the goalkeeper. Who do you want, Sharma, and who do you think we're actually going to go after?
I actually don't know who I want, man. Like, as in, like, realistic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like obviously we all said Kaneseki, but I don't think he actually is realistic. So
Yeah, I don't think so
I
either.
actually don't know. I need to think about it because I do want to like make a video on this as well. So bit of a
Okay,
pop out,
all right.
but I'm not sure.
I'll let you cop out of that one, but the other two you have to have.
I don't want. Okay, I can say I don't want Vicario. I don't want Onana back because Nima suggested him, so I'll definitely say that I don't
I
want
said it
Onana back.
makes sense, and I would be okay with it as a stopgap, but I'm against stopgaps. I think we should
Yeah, no
kind of move away
stopgap.
from that.
Yeah.
I want to move away from stopgaps. I'm pretty fed
Yeah.
up with stopgaps.
All right, Nima, who do you want
Who I
and who
want?
do you think is
Karnesecki
realistic?
or Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, but that's not going to happen. So I'm scared we're getting Vicario. Like it's just. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I think that's unfortunately who we are going to end up
Yeah.
with, and that I don't see that ending well. And who do I want? Just to be different. I mean, obviously, yeah, we say Carnesecchi, but I'll also throw in Diogo Costa from Porto.
Oh yeah.
I would want him.
With those
I will
again, those
not say
Portuguese
no to
clubs, they
that.
will make you pay through your.
Yeah. And then my luck with Portuguese goalkeepers has not been a very good track record.
Let the people know. Let the people know. What
I
you're
shared with Nima the Luis Maximiano clip with
It
in the
was so
Saudi
funny.
league.
It was
He
so
literally
funny.
played the ball to Retegui, and the only thing that was worse than the play was Retegui missed the goal that was wide.
Oh, was that Luis Maximiano in that clip?
That was Luis
Yeah.
Maximiano in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those
the
of you who
only
don't know,
reason I tweeted that out was because that was literally an inside joke that I made publicly.
What was it? 3 seasons ago now.
Yeah.
I said my Serie A breakout player of the year or signing of the season would be Luis Maximiano when he signed with Lazio, and in his first 6 minutes, not even his first game, his first 6 minutes with the club, he gets a red card and he is never seen from again. Ivan Provedel takes over, and that's it. That was the end of him, and he has now faded into obscurity.
Even Provedel
that was on
owes
the
his
back of
career to you.
Radugate, which was
he should
hilarious.
send a gift basket on the anniversary of that game every year to Luis Maximiano.
And I mean, that was on the back of course, Radugate, which was just
Was
comedy.
that after Radugate? I thought that was before Radugate.
That was after Radugate, because I remember Tony, he was like, both of those times, he was like, lol. Like, that's all he sent to me. Twice I had messages from Tony saying, lol, Gianni. Like, that's all he said.
Yeah.
And we were like giggling. It's like, there's no such thing as jinxes.
But hey, I redeemed myself with
mean?
Onana in summer, so I'm okay. I'm okay with 2
you
for
are,
2.
You absolutely are.
4.
But it's just so like, it was so funny because I will die on this hill.
That was a Twitter space where I said I will die on the hill that Andre Radu will be fine today. It was that like literally before the Bologna match, and as soon as I saw him cut back with the ball, I did not feel good about it. I'll be honest. Like I was like, that doesn't look good, and
it happens.
Yeah. All right. Now the next position is. I mean, I guess I'll just say center back, but I think we could kind of assume it might be center back or something. So, who would you want, and who do you think we're realistically going to go after?
Who's going first?
Sharma, you go first since you skipped the last one.
I would go for. I think we should try to get Marco Senesi from Bournemouth on a free. I know you were probably close to getting him, but I think we should look at him because he's also left-footed, so he can play centre back and left centre back. I quite enjoyed his development last few years. I didn't like him when he was a few years back when he was a free transfer. We were linked with him, but I think he's got better since then. He's 28, perfect age, I think, to come in. Strong, physical as well, good on the ball, and also I've been less convinced by him the more I watch him this season. But Mario Gila as a wide centre back, definitely not a centre back because he's a bit short and he's a bit rash to be centre back. But as a right centre back, like he would be our quickest centre back straight away if he comes in. Like be able to play high line, good on the ball, good age. I think 25, if I'm correct, 25, 26.
I think you're right.
And he should be. I know Lazio usually likes to rip us off, but he should be available for a reasonable fee. I've seen that Milan are linked for him for around 20 million euros. And also Solet in that similar price tag as well, because he's got 1 year left of his contract at Udinese.
All right. Nima?
Center back. I I like Muharemovic, but I'm not sure I would like start him. Like I think I
Hmm.
want to see more kind of thing. So I'm not entirely convinced. But look, I don't think there is an heir apparent to Acerbi. And I definitely don't want to play Akanji there. I think Akanji should be on the right.
I would agree.
But equally then, okay, what do you do with Bisek? Do you sell him or do you keep him? Because if you keep him, well then you have Bastoni, Augusto, you have on the right Bisek and Akanji. De Vrij is probably going to leave. So you need two center backs. So I wouldn't be surprised if you kind of if they brought in Sule and Muharemovic in that situation. But personally, I prefer Mario Gila and Sule. But I mean, I don't think there's an heir apparent, if you know what I mean. I think that's a really
Yeah.
difficult position to fill. But Mario Gila for sure. Because if you want to play with a high defensive line, good passer. For me, Sule and Gila, despite all the potential mistakes that they can do, they're the best ones. But we shouldn't forget that there is a Pavard situation that Inter need to remember, and that is if he doesn't get sold to Marseille, and I think that there's a big chance that isn't sold to Marseille. He comes back.
The good news is there's rumors Leipzig would be interested in Pavard,
Yeah.
so maybe we have a way out. It won't be 15 million, but you know, if
No,
we
I
can,
reckon Saudi. I reckon you're going to go Saudi or somewhere like that.
you think so? Just cash in,
Because
like
he's got
he'll
quite
like
high wage, high salary.
Yeah, he does. I don't know what happened. Like something must have happened for him and Inter to want to kind of break the way that they did. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think Lautaro was firing shots at him as well in that
Yeah.
whole gun.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, it's
But
weird.
I would
But
take
we'll
him
see.
back, but I don't think I don't think he would be well received in the dressing room.
Well, that's the thing. How is he received? I mean, is this Perisic coming back? No, because Perisic, essentially, when he left Inter and went to Bayern Munich and won the treble, he
He did.
essentially was like, it's like he went on military boot camp and he came back this like super fit CrossFit guy who eats weird stuff. Like I mean, the way Bastoni was joking, he's like, yeah, I'd love to have his Bastoni about Perisic. I'll never forget that comment. He's like, I would love to have his physique and his stamina, but then I'd have to live and eat like him, and I can't do that. Like he's all about the raw fish and the, do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that would
do you know what
not
I mean?
be.
Like he's like one of those people, and it's like he turned into that in Bayern Munich. Like he went there on boot camp and then he came back a changed man, and the rest is history, I suppose. But no, I wonder. I think it's I think it's really, really difficult. But I think with Pavard, they need to resolve that situation. And also, what do they do with Akanji? Do they extend that loan? Like, I don't know. It's there's a lot of question marks there.
Yeah, that is the way that whole Pavard and Akanji thing are kind of like tied to one another is kind of annoying in that sense. Like, if we get one back, are we able to lock down Akanji? I don't know, but hopefully that gets figured out. I guess for me, I would go. Yeah, I think the realistic one is Solet as well. I think that he would be the one that makes the most sense for that role. I wish, because of his height, I wish Bisek would be able to be a center back.
Same.
Like, and it's funny when he attacks balls in the air in the attacking third, he goes up with such ferocity and drive to win that header, but he doesn't do that in the defensive third. It
No.
kind of drives me insane that he just doesn't have that same mentality, because I think that he would be an absolute monster in the air. Like, no ball, like he should win every header, every single header. Like, he has the ups, and it's, it just drives me crazy with that.
I agree with you 100%.
Solet would probably be the guy.
I don't know if it's a mentality thing. I think it's also a little bit of a qualitative thing. I don't think he has the technique and the read of the game that you need to be good defensively. I think if you look at when he pushes forward at Inter, it's because he's given more time to do it. I think he's not an instinctive defender in that sense, and I think that's the problem. And he gets exposed.
Yeah.
And I think that's a problem. But and that's why I think Inter wouldn't mind selling him. But I mean, all of it depends on this whole Pavard, Akanji. But if they extend Acerbi, I'm gonna crash out, because that's just like enough is enough.
That's Sasha's favorite player. You can't get rid of him.
enough is enough. You know what I mean? Like enough is enough. Like let him go quietly into the night. Do you know what
Let
I
him
mean?
perish. Let his body just perish.
Yeah. Let him go gracefully. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, no. After some of these performances, especially the Bodo, I know it was the weather and the pitch were a big reason, but he looked even worse and out there. It was painful. Like the whole back line looked bad that game, but he just looked.
But it's the same thing with Mkhitaryan. Like guys, like father time is undefeated. It happens to all of us, even the best of us. Do you know what I mean? Like it just let them go gracefully. Do you know what I mean? Like you know, it's like that Tim Burton movie with the guy who tries to bring his girlfriend back. Like the car. Do you know what? I can't remember the movie. You know what I mean? From Dead. Like let them be. Let them be. Let him go. You know, cut the umbilical cord. You know.
All right, and the last position is the one that I feel like all season has been a talking point, and now it's definitely becoming a little hotter now. Is the right wing back position? I think I'm gonna go first. Obviously, the dream would be Palestra. I think we're all gonna kind of agree with that. Who do I think realistically? I don't know if it's realistic, but I think it's a possibility. Is Wilfred Sengo? I think that might be an opportunity there to bring him back from the French league and see what happens there.
He's a Galatasaray now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He's on loan, or did he get sold?
But he got
I thought
sold.
he got sold there.
Mm.
And also, he's a better right center braccetto than he's a wing back, I would say. I mean, for Monaco, or when he was in France, he was unplayable as a braccetto. Like he was just ridiculous. But of course, for Torino, he's played as a wing back. I have to say, like, if obviously Palestra, we all agree, but I like Coyote. I really like Michael Coyote.
Ooh.
I really like him, and I think he's done well in the Premier League, albeit not at the best side, but I wouldn't mind. He's Italian, and like he's young, speaks the language. I mean, you know,
Probably would be cost around the same price as Palestra, I would say,
yeah,
though.
maybe if not more. I think Palestra probably costs more.
But yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I would have no problem with Michael Coyote. I think that would be a great.
He's 21 years old as well,
Yeah.
and he is a wide player. Do you know what I mean? So.
And bring those throw-ins, Coyote to Pio,
Yes,
man. Imagine those.
actually,
Oh my
like
gosh.
honestly,
Yeah. I didn't even think of that. That's yeah.
with the area, like the amount, like his throw-ins are like DiMarco crosses, like you know.
Yeah, literally. That would be
That's
an
a good
interesting
shout for
one.
sure.
But yeah, no, Palestra
I
for
like that
me.
one.
Oh, I like Singo. I've liked Singo for a long time. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, I don't know how easy it is to buy players from Galatasaray. I know
Could be a swap there for Çalhanoğlu.
Hakan.
Oh yeah, yeah. Cook something up. Get on the phone to Piero. I know we're kind of sick of maybe Brazilian players, Brazilian wingbacks from Ligue 1, but I always like Van der Sar also from Monaco. I think he's very good. He's a fullback, but yeah, I think he can do a job as a wingback as well. And a younger player that I've also liked in Serie A this season is Brichki from Parma, 19-year-old that plays at Parma. Just like but as a not obviously not as a starter, more as a future to develop.
Yeah, I haven't really paid attention to him much. I mean, I know the name and I have seen him play, but I guess that's one I'll definitely check out. Because that's an interesting
if you
shout.
can cook something up for Dan and Doy as well, see.
Oh, that'd be awesome too. I mean, I love Dan
I've
and
seen
Doy.
that he's been getting cooked by Notts Forest fans on X a lot this season. So, we've seen what Juve were able to bring in some players like Douglas Luiz. Well, actually, that wasn't a loan.
That was wait. Well, they got Kelly for a loan, and then they bought him.
Yeah. So if we can work something out, something like that,
Lord Kelly.
You know that Newcastle were actually like that. I know this for a fact. Like Newcastle were literally laughing when Juve sent that offer. They couldn't believe it. Like, they literally couldn't believe their luck. They were like, yeah, we'll take the money. We'll take that offer. We'll take it. So, if you're twisting my arm, like, you know what I mean? They couldn't believe their luck. They were literally laughing when that offer came in. But yeah, Giuntoli had a shocker, didn't he? Like, he did not do well there.
No,
I
think
Di Gregorio, Gianmarco, would you take him instead of any other goalkeeper?
no.
I
know I said I would take him over Summer, but after that goal he gave up, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, I mean, listen, if he's doing it to ruin Juve and be like an Inter sleeper cell, I'm okay with it. But if that's what's
he's
happening
such a
now with
weird
him,
guy because apparently he's not even an Inter fan. He's a Milanista.
Yeah.
That's even funnier than yeah.
And he loves Handanovic.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because he plays like Handanovic and has all the same weaknesses.
Like 37-year-old Handanovic.
Yeah, exactly. Old Handanovic, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, no. I don't know. Now I'm trying to think, like, I'm just trying to look at the Serie A alone. Like, I wouldn't want Suzuki by any means.
Stop.
Like
No.
That's like, I'm just trying to look.
No.
Like I would, but I'm like, Di Gregorio, I would take over Suzuki though.
Of course.
I don't like. Well, obviously, I don't like Provedel or Mandas. Not a fan of either of them. I think the only guy that I would rate is Svilar. Really, like, if you're not getting Carnesecchi, but like, I don't think they're selling Svilar either, Roma. So
yeah, no Meret.
No, God, no Meret. Like,
no, stop.
Like, oh gosh, even if it's a free, I wouldn't want it.
I think we're gonna have to go outside of Serie A.
Yeah, we absolutely have. You know who? I mean, but he's doing terrible in the Saudi League too. Is Bento? Like, I wonder what. Like, oh my gosh, he's had some horrific howlers.
I've not been keeping up.
Like Luis Maximiano level howlers. Like, I'm like, my gosh, I was like, it's gotten bad for him over there. I like that the goalie from Sunderland, Rolfs, but I'm sure he's going to be stupid pricey.
Yeah.
From the guy from Brighton is also another one, but they're saying like 45 to 60 million for him.
Oh, Verbruggen.
Bart Verbruggen, yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think helps with Diogo Costa is that he's a free in 2027, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I think that I thought I saw that somewhere. Somebody was talking about that.
I'll check now while you're talking.
But yeah, like, they were talking about that, and I was like, if that's real, like, I wouldn't mind. Like, he's 26. Like, he's definitely approaching the prime of his career. So
no, his contract expires 2030.
2030? Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't remember who said that, but I believed it. So I should probably looked it to myself. But yeah, he's still a guy that I wonder what it would cost. I would just be curious. I know, yeah, Portuguese teams are a nightmare to deal with, and they always want stupid money. But
yeah, I like Trubin, but then they have a 50% clause from Shakhtar in there, so that's going to push the price again.
That's so crazy. Yeah, it's so crazy that Benfica even agreed to that, to be honest.
I mean, that's why we didn't sign him. We were close to signing him, and then quite rightly
exactly
we didn't.
Yeah, imagine a 50% sell-on clause. Like, so you got to sell him for 70.
That's the co-ownership back, like, in the Italian club used to do co-ownership.
Yeah. Who's the other guy? Lunin. I wonder what he would cost.
Lunin, I like Lunin
from Real Madrid.
I
tweeted about him, and then people were replying to me that, like, apparently he's not been that good. But I remember, like, maybe it was from past seasons that he looked really good when Courtois had his ACL.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, Trubin and Lunin, both of them.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, both of them for sure. But like, I feel like for Lunin, it's like, yeah, because you don't play regularly, it's hard to get into a feel of a game or really feel confident going into a match if you're not the number one keeper week in and week out. Like, you're just kind of going through training and not really able to, to stay.
I mean, we did do a risky move when we got Onana. You could say even like getting Zoma at 35, 36 was kind of risky. So we might have to do something like that again, just something a little bit left field.
No, I think they're gonna go with their guy. I think that's what they're doing.
My fear is they're gonna go for Emi Martinez.
I would
love that.
I would hate that.
What? he is the
I
biggest
would
ball
hate.
buster, wind up dickhead in the world. I would absolutely love him in the Derby della Madonnina or Derby d'Italia. Are you
Oh my
kidding
god,
me?
yeah.
God no. God no.
And also,
No.
like this isn't a good thing. So before people lose their minds, you do know, like this is the negative side. You know that if you bring him in, you know he's going to be involved in a racism scandal. Like it's just going to happen. Like we all know that it's going to
So
happen.
you want racism at Inter? Is that what
Hey, we have
I'm hearing?
Acerbi. Leave me alone. We have to replace one racist with another. All right.
Clipping that. That's going. That's literally the little clip I'm going to put up for this episode.
Thanks.
On
No, don't do that. Don't be a dick.
He's
No,
already
but
getting
seriously,
hate
I
from
like him as a
Bosnians.
character. I like him as a
Yeah.
character. I like him in terms of like the leadership and
I don't
and
care.
the
Like I
ball
need you to be a shot stopper. I don't need you to be a character.
He's a
And,
good
like,
shot
a
stopper.
decent
I
shot
would feel good
stopper.
about him in penalties. I don't
Mhm.
feel good about him in an actual. Like I feel like there's been the 2 times I've seen him play this season. The 2 times I actually watched, he had a couple of howlers and one go through his hands that he was able to recover and was lucky. If he was like further back into his goal, that rolls over the line. He got very lucky. And then another one that he did get beat near post in like a horrific way. And I was like, gosh, like people want this
I
guy
want
here.
a big goalkeeper back. That's what I want this season. Like I'm sick of Onana and Zoma. Like we've had 2 short goalkeepers.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
back
no,
to
no.
back.
I need
Diego Costa would
a tall
be
guy.
along the same size, I think. What's
Yeah. No, I need a tall guy.
6'1".
No more
He's only
dwarves.
6'1" is Diogo Costa, so I guess
I
he's
need
out
someone
there.
that goes and claims corners and crosses.
Yeah.
All right, Varbruggen it is. Send the money over.
No, we need a tall guy, and Vicario's tall. So
No,
Yeah, but he's got short man energy.
Yeah.
he's
He's got to be, what, 6'2" at best?
No, he's
Oh, he's
I don't know,
6'4".
6'2".
Wow, he
He's
doesn't look 6'4".
6'4". There's no
He
way
looks
he's
even-
6'4".
He looks
Yeah, he's a tall
smaller.
guy.
He's
a tall
smaller.
guy.
When
Sharma's right.
but he's awful at corners. Like he
He's
is
so
atrocious.
bad at corners. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I think
no,
Zoma
I
might be
can't-
better at corners than Vicario.
Which is sad, man. How tall is Verbruggen? He's got to be 6'6". He's 6'4" too. He looks tall. I would never guess that. All right. Anyway. Any other things, other points you want to bring up, guys, or?
My love for the game has returned recently because
No.
Juve's last few losing streaks have just given me life. Like literally given me life. The elixir
love
of
that.
life I've been sipping on. The Atalanta 3-0 thrashing in the Coppa, then Lazio 2-2, us beating them with that Zielinski goal. The Galatasaray, and yesterday, oh man, Como, beautiful. In that kit as well, so fitting.
Oh yeah. And the passing from Como on that second goal was, I mean, chef's kiss. Like,
Yeah.
Dacuña giving it over to Caqueret on that one. I thought that was a risky play too, and he threaded the needle perfectly on that pass. So, and it's still 0-0 right now between Milan and Parma.
I was gonna say.
Don't jinx it. That's why I haven't mentioned it yet.
56 minutes, I think it is.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah.
Well, their matches typically go 96, 97 minutes, so like
yeah,
anything could happen there. But listen, I appreciate you guys hopping on here. It's always good to be able to talk the game with the both of you. I mean, honestly, I love it. I feel like it's always like a smooth, easy conversation. So thank you guys.
Always a pleasure. Never a chore. Always a pleasure.
I thought we were going to cook Nima today, but yeah, we let him off.
He got off easy today.
Yeah.
He did. It's because he's wearing the kit. I can't really. I can't. He's literally repping the pod. I can't knock him for that. So, but yeah, thank you guys. I'm gonna do what Alessandro does better than I'll ever do. But in the words of the great Roberto Scarpini, forza ragazzi, forza ragazzi, forza ragazzi.